about is your guide pages. So there have been some people talking about how this buying process and selling process looks virtually and the best way to be able to present that information to your clients. And the great thing is we don't have to do anything too crazy to be able to get the information and to present it to our clients. So we'll keep the class short and sweet so we can share some good information back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and present a window. And we'll click over here. So you guys should be able to see my screen now. And you'll notice that I'm on the home screen of KW Connect. Let me pull this out here. And what I'm going to do is on the left hand side, I'm going to go down to Consumer, and I'm going to click on that little button, and then I'm going to click on Guide Builder. You guys can see where that is right there. Now your Guide Builder, you're going to have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide. Let me show you what that looks like on your website. So we'll go to my website, and you'll see right here at the top where it shows feed, guide, saved. Those three buttons right here are only going to pop up for your clients who are actually signed in. So if I click on the guide, you'll see here that I'll have a buying guide. And this has already been created for me, so I can roll with that. And then I also have a selling guide. Once again, this has been created for me, and so I can just roll with that one. Additionally, what you guys are going to have is on your KW app. So let me pull up the app. We'll flip this around for a second. So if you look on your, I'm guessing everybody's got an iPhone. That's what everybody has, right? So on your consumer app, the white one with the red letters, it'll pull up like this. If you guys can see. And you'll notice in the very middle right here is a thing called guide. I know it's kind of hard to see because I'm doing it on a phone into my light. And the guide on here is going to be the exact same one as the one I just showed you guys on your website. You notice when you click on one of those, it's going to open up and explain the whole process. Now, all of this information of the picture and what it's called and all of the directions inside, all of that can be edited. And additionally, we can create new steps as well. So what I'm going to do is show you where you can edit that information and then what steps you can actually edit along the way. So I'm going to jump back over to this screen. Okay, so let me go back to here. So here in the guide builder, you can see buying and selling. And what we're going to do is we'll click on the little pencil to edit that. So you can see here that it says start your search, get pre-approved, tour homes, all that fun stuff. I've had some agents who said, well, no, that's not my process. They don't start a search. They get pre-approved first. Well, if that's the case, you grab this little 9 block here on the side and drag that up. Okay, so now your process is get pre-approved, and then you can start your search. And if you wanted to, you can actually change this up. And let's say that we want to add a new step. So we'll add a step and we'll call it buyer consultation. So we're going to create a buyer consultation. And then we'll have a little picture that we can add to it. I'll just grab this one since it's already made and continue. So now that I have that new one created, well, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up all the way to the top. And man, there's a lot of steps in the buying process. Who would have ever thought it was that difficult, huh? And if you guys get lost, you can feel free to chime in at any time. So you'll see now we have the buyer consultation at the top. After the buyer consultation, you get pre-approved. Then we begin your search. Then we tour homes, make an offer, execute a contract. Wait a minute. If you don't like that, we can go ahead and change it. So we can edit in this and say, let's not call it execute a contract. Let's put, let's call it, we'll complete the purchase agreement. And we can change all of the different stuff that happens in here. So then we'll save the changes. What you'll notice is once those changes are saved, it'll reflect in your app, and it'll also show up in your, how do you say, on your website as well. So when you go through an update on your app, it'll pull up in there and on your website. So that way you can keep it all in check with everybody. Also, there's an introduction to when people are starting, before they start the process. This kind of explains the guideline. We're going to go back to the guide builder now. Before we jump into the guide builder, I'm going to pause for just 1 second and see if you guys have any questions so far. Is everything making sense? Okay. If so, can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Good job, Stephen. All right. Let me jump back into the guide builder. And here's on the seller's guide. So on the seller's guide, once again, we'll click this little button here, and you can see that I've already done some changes inside of here of what's going to happen. So start with the listing consultation. You can see I put a cute little mansion in here. So what I did was I looked at it and said, okay, well, what are the sizes of that? And it was roughly around like 330 by 80. So you can see it wasn't too big what you can fit into there. But what I ended up doing is I went over to Canva and I created a new design and used a custom dimension that was 330 by 80. We'll create that. It'll pop up a little bar like this. And in here is where you can put in whatever you'd like it to be. So if you wanted to put a little icon in like that, then you'd scroll through and say, all right, let's put this little globe icon in here because I'm Mr. Worldwide. So we'll add that into there. And then if you wanted to add something else and say, oh, and then we do a consultation, we can do that. You can go ahead and download that and save it. And then right in here is where you would click to update it and then put that new one in there. And of course, you can change it from, I believe yours probably says listing. I don't know if you have a listing presentation. I think it just starts with showing property. So I added listing consultation of the first step. And once you're done, you just click Save Changes. So it's all pretty easy and straightforward, and you can change the photos if you'd like to whatever you want them to be, or you can leave them to be exactly the same. It's completely up to you on how you want to do it. Now, with presenting this information to your prospects. So there's a few different ways to go about it. And the main thing is deciding what you want to share with your clients. So if you're going to be pushing it out on social media, then obviously one's going to look a little bit different on Instagram than it will on Facebook. But one cool thing that you can do is create a post about what you're writing, and you can even upload a video of your guide. So if you wanted to, here we can, let's see if I can get this to play along. So we'll go here, and I'm going to click screen recording, And I'm going to open up the app right here. And let's see if everybody can still see that. And then I'll click on the guide and scroll through the guide like that, showing all the cool features. And then when I'm done, I can click there and stop the recording. And we'll pull it up right here.
Adam.
Yeah.
So in case your phone doesn't show that screen recording, because you have to add it in from general. I know for like some of like iPhone 9s, I think you just got to go to general and then accessibility and then screen record and put it so that you can actually screen record it.
Okay.
Just wanted to throw that in there just because like I know some people are going to be like, how do I do that?
Yeah. And yes, that is right. If you guys have any questions about that, you can ask Aaron. Obviously, he knows. You can ask me. I'll just ask my boyfriend because he's in IT, so he can explain it, and I'll just copy and paste that to you. But
Aaron, does my phone do that?
I should. I mean, I can help you set it up if you want me to.
Okay.
So you can do a screen recording of your own, and you can actually trim that down a little bit if you want. So when you're inside of there, then you can cut the edges off to have the video how you want it, and then you can use that video as displaying your guide. Or if you want, you can take all of the images that you already have in there and all of the steps that you have, and you can actually lay it out in a little cute presentation if you're going to put it on Facebook or Instagram, however you want. Or you can do like what I did with the video for this class. If you saw that video, it had a lot of really good imagery in there, and I liked it. So this is what I did to get the video. Let me jump back over here. So I went to YouTube.
That video was really cool, by the way. I just want to say that video was super cool.
Well, I didn't make it. Keller Williams did. So I found the Keller Williams app right here. So this is the video that I posted for this class. Once you see, yeah, I definitely like that. I'm going to take the link right here, and I found this fun little website that I can put it in, and it'll steal the video for me, which it's not really stealing. It's just using KW to promote KW. So I took that video and uploaded it to Facebook for the class. And what you can do from there is once you've uploaded whatever kind of design you want, then what you'll do is go to your app and setting, or site and app settings. Sorry for being dyslexic there. I can say it now. We're going to click on URLs, and we're going to get this app URL right here. So that way, if we're putting this information out about the app, well then the link that they're going to want to click to get the app with your guides and everything you have to offer, you want to make sure you're putting in that code right here. So that way they can download it from the App Store directly from your advertisement. And in order to, like, once they start using the app, it's going to say, hey, if you want to save this stuff, they're going to want to go ahead and log in. And as soon as they log in and create that account, you're automatically going to get a notification in your KW command and in your Kelly app. So make sure you have your Kelly app up and running on your phone. And from there, then you can start working with them directly and seeing what properties they're liking, what properties they're favoriting, and kind of go from there. So that was a quick and easy tutorial on how to create those custom guides inside of your command center. So with that said, what kind of questions do you guys have?
I saw something earlier. I apologize. I got a call where the money was involved, so I had to take it.
There you go.
But you were selecting some graphics from somewhere, and it sounded like maybe there was a repository for some graphics in the Keller Williams in Connect somewhere in the guide page. You navigated away and took like that globe. You had that globe skeleton.
So that was actually outside of the KW world.
Okay.
Let me jump back over to there. So you can create designs in Command. Let me see. Am I showing the right screen? Yeah. So you can go in Designs and you can do that. I found it a lot easier just to go into Canva. When you go to canva.com, this is the home screen, you can actually log in with your Gmail account that you already have through Keller Williams. And then from here, what I did was I put in the custom designs or custom sizes right here, 330 by 80. And then when I click create, it opened this up. Now here you can search for whatever you would like. So if I wanted to do a picture of, let's say, here, this is similar to what my house looks like. So we'll drop this in here. And now this can be one of the headers for my guide images. So I can say this one would be the first steps of the buying process. And if I don't like that one, then I can add a different kind of design in here and say, oh, let's just have a jelly bean. And you can put that in there and then put whatever kind of text you want on it. So that's if you wanted to design your guide pages or the headers of the guides to look a little different. So once I designed one, I would be inside of here. I would click on start my search, and then I'm going to change this one right here. So once I have
Okay. Canva's just a place to get graphics.
Yeah, it's a place to make them.
Okay, I will check that out.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to change them or you don't want to do anything, you don't have to. You can leave them just the way they are. That's completely up to you. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. As you saw on the buying side or on the selling side, I had cute little fun ones for everything. You can do whatever you'd like. It's completely up to you. And then from there, then that's when you would decide, okay, well, what do I want it to look like to be able to advertise this to people? So you can have those same icons and you can title it as a buying guide and have them go download the app to have that guide, or the seller's guide. They can go and get your app to see the seller's guide. Or you can do the screen record like I was showing you and do a video that way. Or you can share the video that I used for this class. So there's a ton of different ways you guys can be advertising, not only the guides, but really the app as well. And with the buying guides, you can change them at any time. So if right now you wanted to change every single part of it to be focused only on virtual, so saying, you know, we have virtual open houses, we can do a virtual e-sign for the purchase agreement. There's mobile notaries that can do contactless delivery, and you don't have to meet the inspectors. You don't have to do this. Like, you can paint whatever story you're trying to do. And then if tomorrow they say, hey, just kidding, that was all a lie, you're free to go and walk about, then all you have to do is log back in there and then change it. You're not really going to be changing much, though, because you can still e-sign things. You can still, do virtual showing. So if anything, I would say add to the stuff that you can create in there and start to have fun with it and realize that anything is possible. Cool. What do you guys think about all that?
Yeah, it's great. But it is only, you can only do this at the app level. There's no way to customize it for any individual prospects or clients, right?
Correct. And the reason why is that the majority of the information is going to be the same. You can put things in there and say that, like with an appraisal, you would say typically that's a contingency of the bank. I recommend always getting one. However, if you are paying cash, that's completely up to you to decide if you want to do an appraisal or not. So you can put verbiage like that in there, and people follow along and they check off the steps. So you would say, okay, well, yeah, we've already done that. Mark the step completed. If they wouldn't get an appraisal, then that's fine. You just mark that step completed and move on to the next one. So it's kind of like a checklist to help people understand where they're going, because the biggest fear is the fear of the unknown. So especially if they're selling a house for the first time, this is going to be really crucial to help them understand where they are in the process and what happens next. And same with buyers. If they haven't bought before, this shows them the entire process and lays it out. So they don't have to worry about, oh, what am I supposed to do? What's supposed to happen? And it kind of helps them play along as they understand where they are. So there's no surprises. And you can even go as far as like with buyers, say, hey, you're going to have to get an inspection. Here's the 3 inspectors that I typically recommend. Their prices usually range around from here to here. So you can actually go in further and actually put vendor information in there. Cool. All right. Brooke, do you have any questions? What do you think about it all? Oh, can you knock it off mute? All right. Well, this is recorded, so I'm going to make sure to upload it to our YouTube channel so you guys can go back and look at it. I don't know if you'll need to, because I think it was pretty easy, but if you guys need a refresher, you can go and look at that. It's only going to be about 20 minutes. You can scan through wherever you are. And additionally, you can always call, text, or email me. I see a handful of you guys on the call right now that do call me, and we get things figured out. So if you haven't ever called me, feel free to do it. I'm here to help you guys because I want to see everybody succeed, because together we all achieve more. Cool. Well, if there's no other questions, I'll let you guys roll out. And if you need anything, let me know. Have fun.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Go sell something.